Chapter 1. The Royal Decree. The Grand Hall of the Vathari Empire shimmered under the glow of bioluminescent chandeliers, their soft violet light casting long shadows across the polished obsidian floor. Princess Lyranna stood at the base of the dais, her spine rigid, her 4 delicate hands clasped before her in a gesture of forced calm. Around her, the High Council murmured, their antennae twitching with disapproval. "Princess," Elder Vosk intoned, his voice a deep, grating hum. "The alliance with the Zorathi Dominion is vital to our survival. Prince Krell has offered his bond. You will accept." Lyranna's secondary heart pounded. The Zorathi were brutish, their empire built on conquest. To marry Krell would mean submitting to a life of silent obedience, something she had vowed never to do. Her gaze flickered to the far corner of the hall, where the newest batch of war prisoners stood shackled. Among them was a human. He was taller than the others, his bronze skin marked with scars, his dark eyes sharp despite the fatigue weighing on him. The humans had fought fiercely before their capture, and this one, designated Soldier 117, had been their leader. A reckless idea ignited in her mind. Chapter 2. The Defiance. "I refuse Krell's bond," Lyranna declared, her voice ringing clear. Gasps rippled through the council. Elder Vosk's exoskeleton flushed crimson with fury. "You dare!" "I claim another," she interrupted, lifting her chin. Then, with deliberate audacity, she pointed to the human. "Him!" Silence. Then uproar. The human's head snapped up, his eyes narrowing in wary disbelief. The guards around him stiffened, their shock rifles humming to life. "You jest!" Vosk roared. "A human! A prisoner!" Lyranna stepped forward, her gown whispering against the floor. By ancient law, a royal may claim any unmated individual as their bondmate, provided they pass the trial of worth. She met the human's gaze. "Do you accept?" The room held its breath. The human studied her, not with fear but calculation. Then slowly he smirked. "Hell yeah, I accept." Chapter 3. The Trial of Worth. The trial was a brutal test of strength, cunning, and loyalty. Krell, enraged by the insult, demanded the right to challenge the human himself. The council agreed. The arena was a sunken pit of jagged rock and shifting sands. Lyranna watched from the royal balcony, her claws digging into the railing. Across from her, Krell flexed his serrated limbs, his mandibles clicking in anticipation. The human, James, he had told her in the brief moment they'd spoken, stood weaponless, his only armor his own resolve. The horn sounded. Krell lunged, his bladed arms slicing the air. James dodged, rolling aside, but not fast enough. A gash opened on his shoulder. The crowd roared. Lyranna's stomach twisted. She had gambled everything on this human. If he failed, she would be forced to marry Krell, and James would be executed. But then James moved. He feinted left, then pivoted, driving his elbow into Krell's thorax. The prince staggered. James pressed the advantage, using the Zorathi's momentum against him, flipping him onto his back. Krell snarled, slashing upward, but James caught his wrist. With a grunt he twisted. A sickening crack echoed through the arena. Krell screamed. James stood, breathing hard, blood dripping from his lip. He raised his fist, not in victory but in salute to Lyranna. The crowd erupted. Chapter 4. The Bond. That night, in the privacy of her chambers, Lyranna tended to James' wounds. "Why?" he asked suddenly, his voice rough. "Why me?" She hesitated. Then softly, "Because when I looked at you, I saw defiance. Like mine." James chuckled. So you picked the only guy crazier than you to piss off your entire empire? Lyranna smiled. Yes. He studied her, then reached out, his calloused fingers brushing hers. Then I guess we're stuck with each other. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. The council had no choice but to accept the trial's outcome. Krell was sent back to Zorath in disgrace. The human prisoners were freed, offered a place in the Empire as allies. And James. He stood beside Lyranna at the next royal gathering, his hand in hers, his head high. The nobles whispered, but none dared challenge them, because the princess had chosen, and her choice had changed everything. Epilogue. Months later, when the Zorathi attacked in retaliation, it was James who led the Vathari defenses. It was the humans who fought alongside them. And when the dust settled, it was clear, the galaxy would never underestimate either of them again. Lyranna squeezed James' hand as they stood on the palace balcony, watching the stars. Worth it? He asked. He grinned. Every second.